You know, when you step on the scene at a protest in the Capitol, you're met with like this very eerie kind of feeling of, is this going to be the day that I'm going to jail? Is this going to be the day that I'm going to have to worry about my eyes, my body, anything that could potentially be harmed today? It's not the scene that we saw yesterday where people just felt like they could just drive up and walk through the door and go into the rotunda and walk around with flags. It's not that.
They broke the glass. Everybody stay down. Get down. Oh my God, they got fire on them. What do you need?
The Capitol Police are very intimidating. Any law enforcement person to a person of color in this country is intimidating because you never know what's going to be on the other side of that interaction.
Many times when we protest, it's not a secret. It's hard to hide a group of over 100 people. So law enforcement knows that we're there. They are often prepared for us, whether or not they know that we're going to the Capitol building. You will see them arrive with pre-looped zip ties because they are preparing for mass arrest.
When I saw the rioters when they were approaching the Capitol building, first of all, what I noticed was how few officers there even were to begin with, in comparison to like a peaceful women's march. They'll come out in full tactical gear, prepared to fight, when it's any other group of people coming together.
Kavanaugh's gotta go.
Out of all the times I've been at the Capitol, the Kavanaugh hearings were probably the most apprehensive for me. It was very evident that they did not want us to be there, even though we have every right to be there. Me and my husband we drove up to DC. They were having the confirmations going on in the Senate chambers. So we decided after we were protesting, like, let's go inside because there's a viewing room, a viewing balcony where people are allowed in. We stood in line for probably 2-3 hours to even get into the Senate chambers because they were going through security so slowly. And when we were in the chambers, like, we had to remain quiet. There was like Secret Service and Capitol Police just pacing the entire room. And there's multiple protesters who like stood up and would object to Kavanaugh's confirmation, and immediately they would just be like tackled to the ground. And these were mostly women. And there's about 3 steps to go down into the viewing area. You could hear their backs hitting the steps as they dragged them up.
Protesting in Mitch McConnell's office in 2017, I was taken out of my wheelchair. The Capitol Police could have easily taken me out of the building by pushing me in my own wheelchair. It wouldn't have been difficult for them, but there's video of them having 5 or 6 officers lift me out of my wheelchair, take me out of the building and set me on the sidewalk where they knew I would not be able to move because they took my wheelchair away from me. But I didn't see them taking any of those extreme measures yesterday.
I was first absolutely shocked. I was shocked because I could not believe that people got into the building, that folks were hanging from landing posts, that folks were on the grounds. I have never been able to get that close. Any protester that I know we've never been able to get that close to the Capitol building, to be able to walk through those doors. This was the epitome of white supremacy in this country. And I know for a fact that if anybody that looked like me ever did anything like that on those grounds, I would not be sitting in this interview.
These people just storm right in without a single fear in their mind, without any concern for being stopped, because in their mind they know they have that privilege to be able to do that. For people who look like me, for Black people across this country, we don't have that privilege. We have to be concerned about our very existence in these spaces.
We have to talk about this in every facet of our lives, because if we want this country to be one where we are united, where everyone feels as if their lives matter and that we're able to live into the dreams that we all have for ourselves and for our communities, we can't do that if we don't address the real problem. in this country. And on our television screens yesterday, we got to see exactly what that looked like. And we got to see who is pushing and moving that message. And it starts at the top of this country, the #1 office in the land.
I think one thing yesterday really taught us was that, you know, the argument that conservatives and the right wing have always said is that, you know, that BLM movement and the Women's March and other organizations don't protest the right way, or they don't organize the right way. And is this what they consider the right way? Is what we saw yesterday, is that the right way to them? And so for us to, as organizers and grassroots mobilizers, that we need to continue to do the work that we've been doing. And no matter what they say, like, we are doing the right work and we are organizing and protesting the right way.